It all started when I was a kid. I remember going to church, and I was about 9. I became saved, and I gave myself to Christ, understanding the Word of God and what it was from. And I then started, as I started getting older, I started running with older people and started getting in trouble. Before I know it, I was expelled from school. Kept running with those who was doing drugs and getting in trouble, and before I knew it, I was in juvenile. And I went on a run from juvenile, and I got a letter in the mail saying I was no longer DYS custody, and I came back towards my mom and dad's. There for about 4 years of my life, as I was getting older, I wasn't in any trouble. I wasn't with the Lord though, but I was staying out of trouble. And then some circumstances happened in the life and the people I was around, and I lost one of them. And I resulted back to drugs and drinking and using drugs and selling drugs, which eventually led me back to prison, or to prison. And I got out and was out for a few months and went back to the same thing, doing the same old thing, and ended up back in prison again. And in that time, I ended up meeting my fiance, Pauline, and we had a baby, and I now have 5 beautiful children in my life. And this whole time I was in prison, I was in places where it wasn't good for most people to be around. It wasn't the best environment. Then I got moved to another institution where I met a guy named Joe. He kind of helped me get through some of the stuff I was going through and helped me see a better way, and a way away from all the trouble and the drugs and the violence that was going on in the place I was surrounded in. There, towards the end of my bid, I went to another institution, which drew me to 3 other friends that helped me and helped guide me back to the Lord, and we got a ministry thing started. My friend Neil, one of the friends that showed up there, his family's into the preaching, and they run churches and stuff down in Springfield, and he always tried to deliver the Word of God out there. He fought with it for years, and he's been in prison for years, and he was talking about wanting to preach, so I went to the counselors and we set it up to where we fought with them actually to get it to where we could share the Word of God. They didn't want to let us do it, and we kept doing it. And after we did that, we started a prayer box and started praying for people's families and stuff that was going on for them. We would send a prayer request out and they would pray for the people as well as us. I don't know really how I felt at the time. I felt a lot of it was confused. I didn't know exactly what was going on or why, until now, as I look back and I see that God was putting me in all these places for whatever reason he had, but it made me see that he was planning everything for me. And he has always been there to help me and get me through life and the things that I take on every day. I didn't see that God was putting me with the right people. I prayed about it, and he ended up moving me and moving the right people around me and getting me around the right people. He just happened to know exactly what I needed and how I needed it.